Okay, now we're moving on to setup. First thing I always like to do, and I recommend most people do, whether it's touring car, off-road truck, buggy, set the ride height first, and I'll show you why. In the case of the rear here, we want -1 degree camber. Well, and also once you get your ride height tested, we'll show you how to do that, but I want to show you why. So let's say the vehicle is down here. Well, if you look, I don't know if you can see this, see I've got a lot of negative camber in there. Well, at ride height, which I've already got, you can see it's right on, but when it's compressed, more camber. So if I were going to set my camber based on, you know, a suspension down here, when I actually got my ride height that I wanted, I would end up with positive camber or no camber at all, depending on how much I put in there. So again, I always do the ride height first, and you'll still have to tweak that a little bit once you get started, because you know, it'll just move a little bit and things like that. Now to ride height, what I do is you want to move the shock collars. If you need to go up, move the shock collars to the right, counterclockwise, on both sides. And there's a variety of gauges. You can use a set of digital calipers to do it. They make specific gauges for it. My camber gauge actually has some ride height information here. So in my case, I'm at 28.5 in the rear. Get that set. Go ahead and drop the vehicle from a distance, you know, of a foot or 18 inches or so. Let it settle. Measure it again. Make sure it's right. Then go ahead and move on to your camber. So I know my camber's good there at ride height. That's what you want to do. Don't set. I've seen a lot of guys set up the camber first, and it's down here, and they set it up. They don't check it again, and it's all out of whack. Do that both the same for each side. Also, once you do get the ride height adjusted, what I like to do, it's not a necessity, but I like to get digital calipers and measure from the bottom of the cap to the top of the collar to make sure they're both equal. And if you had a real setup station with weights, you may find that the proper way to do it, you know, the best absolute way to do it is put a scale on each wheel, or under each wheel I should say, and then that you would adjust from there, because that would adjust your balance and what have you. That's the best way to do it. I'm not buying the scales, they're expensive. I'm not that great at off-road, so I never did it for on-road either. So that's that with the camber and all that jazz. Now for the front, do the same thing. I always set the ride height first. I set the ride height both. In this case we got 32.5. So I set both the front and rear ride height, and then I worry about the camber. Now one thing to keep in mind with camber, when you change toe in, toe out, it will change your camber a little bit. So what I do in that case, I'll set the toe out. In this case we've got like 2 degrees toe out. And without a setup board, the easiest way I've found to do it is get like a ruler or a straight edge, put it along the side of the tire, and then kind of, you know, roundabout guess. So if I had toe out, which I do, you would see something like this. You would see that you would have a space in the back, and the front would be, the front is actually, the wheel is pointing out on each side. That's toe out. Toe in, the fronts would be pointing in towards the vehicle. And then it would look like this if you had a straight edge. It would, you know, be going in from there. And then adjust your camber again, and then you might have to do your toe in again, because as you change your camber, or your toe out I should say, your camber will change as well. So let's say I had a huge amount of toe out. If you look there, I've got a positive camber, I mean big time. But at my 2 degrees, when the wheels are somewhat straight, I am totally lined up. And also the other proper way to do it is without wheels, with a setup station. Not the proper way, but the best way. Most people do not do it that way, but the best way, and the reason why, is with the setup station. You take the wheels off, you don't have any, there's, you know, these wheels have some play in them, there's a little bit of tolerances there. With a setup station, you don't have that issue. It's perfect. But again, I'm not going to go spend $100 or whatever it is for a setup station. I'm not that good at off-road. It's not going to make that big of a difference. But other than that, that's my little suspension techniques there. Most of you probably already knew that. Maybe you didn't. If you did, great. You know, hopefully I taught you something. But that's just some basics there. As I run the vehicle, maybe we'll get into some more videos on, you know, different setups, and we will. You know, what shocks, moving them in, moving them out, what that does, different ride heights, what those do, and that kind of thing. Because, you know, I'm pretty good with that stuff. different tires, caster, camber, all that. What you'll get, with toe out, you get more turn in, so on and so forth. So that's going to be it for now. The next video we're going to be doing the body, and that'll be it until we get the GoPro strapped in this baby. So for now, stay tuned and please subscribe. As always, thanks for watching and have a good day.